So evening meditation can have a different purpose to morning meditation. Sometimes we just meditate to observe our mind or to calm our mind, and that's often an aspect of it, an inevitable aspect of it, you could say, because when we stop and pause and become aware in silence of what's happening, inevitably we start to notice more and more what's going on in our mind. And then we can also bring in, if we want to, some specific aspects that we might want to cultivate in our mind, like acceptance or gratitude, noticing positive things, accepting difficult things. And this is part of many, possibly all, contemplative traditions. I don't know all of them, but the ones I know, that I know of, do have these kinds of aspects integrated sometimes above and beyond simple awareness practice. Some of them are quite prayer-like. Some meditations have a very specific focus. Some use visualizations. Some use mantras, repetitive sounds, spoken out loud or chanted, sometimes repeated silently in the mind. There's a quote accredited to the Buddha saying there's 84,000 different ways to meditate because there are 84,000 different personalities. So you might, in my classes, sometimes do meditations that seem to work quite well for you and others that don't. And it can be down to what day it is, how you are, and it could be down to, well, that one doesn't suit your personality so well. The one we'll do this evening is actually more from the Christian Jesuit tradition. And it's a very simple meditation to look back over your day. And I have used it in class before. And in that tradition of the Jesuits, it's called the examen. So you're examining how your day was. And it starts off just the same as we always do, by coming into the present moment via awareness of the body. So you might feel your feet on the ground or your bottom on your seat. You can feel your back on the floor or against your chair, or your spine going up towards the ceiling. And you might like to spend a moment following your breathing in and out of your body. And if you're noticing your body is hot, you're feeling hot, feel free to do a few of the cooling yoga breaths. Breathing in through slightly pursed lips or through a rolled up tongue. Breathing out slowly through your mouth or your nose. Just to help yourself settle a little. And then becoming aware of your body sitting or lying in your home. Most of you will be at home now during the COVID-19 lockdown. And your body is also a home wherever you are. And see if you can welcome into your home, into the home, your house or the home, your body, how you are in this moment, the person that you are in this moment. It's not exactly the same person you were yesterday or 10 years ago. And you won't be the same tomorrow. So see if you can lovingly or kindly welcome yourself in this moment, in your body, in your house. And within that welcoming attitude that we can cultivate, which maybe isn't always available, and it may be something we need to encourage ourselves to do. See if we can welcome all those parts of us that maybe today haven't been well or haven't been the patient and kind or loving, cheerful person that we would like ourselves to be. Maybe there were some things today where we were grumpy or irritable, or parts of our body that were grumpy or irritable or in pain. Seeing if we can welcome all of that into this moment. And then consciously letting your hands find rest on your lap or on the floor. Hands quiet after perhaps a day of work or other activities. And then let your mind go back to what your day was. Maybe there's some images, thoughts, feelings, memories that you can invite into your mind. And it might be helpful to imagine that your resting hands are gently holding your day, how your day was. This string of moments, some of which may now seem more meaningful than others as you look back. And then in that silence and stillness where we are now, see if there were any moments of light, brightness, joy, or simple comforts, perhaps. And you could revisit them a little in your mind, letting them come to life in your memory. Almost taste it again. Linger over what the goodness felt like. Maybe you feel it again in your body. Maybe it was the sun on your face or your hands in the earth as you were gardening the taste of a meal. Maybe there's a memory of how this nourished you, this moment. Maybe energized you in some way. And then trusting that this moments, and perhaps many more like them, are there, stored in your body, in your memory, and that they will keep nourishing you. Perhaps there's a lingering sense of being thankful in some way for the day. And then connect again with the day, how it was. And if there was a moment of difficulty or discomfort, perhaps something distressing, gently revisit that moment and seeing if you can give that a bit of space without judging it or yourself or whoever was involved. Maybe there was a bittersweetness to it, maybe something we can bring a bit of patience or forgiveness to. And then trusting that this memory, that moment of difficulty, will simply heal by the passing of time. And then coming back to being present here in this moment, with your senses open. Maybe your eyes slightly open, your ears aware of what you can hear. And an intention in your mind and in your heart to let any moments of light and any moments of regret from today be held with kindness. Trusting that all is welcome and all our experiences are useful. And then if your eyes are still closed, you can open them and have a look around your room or wherever you are. Noticing the light and the dark in the room. And as the Zen masters always say, there's no light without dark, there's no dark without light. There's no lotus flower without the mud for it to grow in, and all of our kind of difficult experiences are said to be the manure, the compost for wisdom and compassion to grow. So that meditation derived from the Christian tradition is a kind of similar thing, holding whatever has happened in the day with the same kindness and a sense of appreciation that all of it is okay, all of it is welcome. And then we'll do a little bit of letting go. So if there is something lingering from today, sometimes it's very helpful to do a letting go movement, sometimes a little ritual. Like sometimes if I've had a sort of tense day, I'll have a shower or a bath to kind of wash it off me. And if we don't have the opportunity to do that, we can do some yoga moves to embody letting go. So we've done these quite a lot in these evening sessions. We can start with a little bit of jiggling and shaking. So just change my angle a bit. So just letting our arms shake out, our head move around a bit, and if you're hot and a bit tired, you can do it sort of quite slowly and a bit lazily, as if you can't be bothered, and maybe you really can't be bothered. And you can lean forwards a bit to let your arms hang forwards. You can let the weight maybe fall off your shoulders. I sometimes think of that saying, water off a duck's back, kind of whatever, letting it go now. And if it's helpful for you and your body is up for it, particularly your back, you can go into more of a forward bend, or yoga forward bend if you want to. Breathing out, letting go. Maybe sighing out and letting your head move around a bit. So quite key to this is often the letting go of our head. Finding a way to let go of the thoughts around the sticky things that maybe stay with us a bit longer than we'd like at the end of a day. The things that might go round in your head as you're trying to go off to sleep. Lovely. And then we'll come down to the ground to do some releasing movements that are more designed for the physical body again, but inevitably, of course, have a relaxing effect on the mind as well. So you can also lie down with some cushions, raising your head if you need to. The movements are always quite easy to adapt. So we'll start with lying down with our knees bent. And just see if that's okay for you, because of course you could straighten your legs if that felt better. So the knees bent position can help to relax tension in the lower back. And we can shuffle our shoulders around a bit and maybe experiment a bit with different arm positions. What feels particularly nice for our shoulders right now. So we've got lots of potential choices. You might want your hands on your belly, on your ribs, on your chest, elbows wide. Might be nice if you're feeling hot. You could extend your arms. My tiled floor is lovely and cool right now, and sometimes it's too cold, so might be different things to take into account. And of course, just arms on the floor in some way, palms up or palms down. Check with your shoulder blades. There's minute differences that happen with all of these that we can learn to notice. And we tend to fall into habits. Sometimes, as a teacher, I fall into habits and I forget to give my students different options or get them to try different things. Because these different positions can feel different at different times, different bodies, but also in the same body. If I've been on the computer a lot, I'm more likely to kind of feel like I want to be here. If I've been moving a lot, here might be better. So see what feels good tonight. And then you can start off with your eyes softly open. Again, you could let them meander around your room, what you can see. Break from screens if you are using them a lot. Appreciating our sense of sight. And then if you prefer to close your eyes, you can just follow my verbal instructions. And then noticing your back on the floor. And the back of your head on the floor or the block or the cushion. Your feet on the ground. And then we're going to let one leg just rest on its heel. So the toes slightly off the ground. And then with the heel on the ground, drawing a circle with your toes. And then going the other way. And then letting the foot come back down to the floor. And then doing the same on the other side. So keeping the heel on the ground, just lifting the ball of the foot and drawing a circle with your toes. Going one way and then the other. And then letting the foot come down. And then going back to the first foot and lifting the foot up a little bit and just lightly tap your heel on the floor a couple of times, very lightly. Just sends a little vibration into your ankle and your calf muscle. Helps them to relax. And then letting your foot settle back down. You'll feel a contraction in your hip when you do that. So it's a bit tiring on the hips. Just do it a few times on the other foot. And then letting the foot and the leg rest back down. And then straightening your legs. If it's not comfortable on your back to straighten both, just straighten one. If you haven't got much space, you can shuffle up or down a bit. I'm a little bit short on space, so I'm shuffling up, settling my shoulders back down. And then letting your feet roll inwards and outwards. So the rolling is actually coming from the hips. And you can do one leg if you've got one knee bent. Just doing the other side, that's fine. See if you can roll your foot or your feet inwards on the exhale and outwards on the inhale. And if you've been doing just one side, then change to the other side. And then letting your legs relax. Straightened out if comfortable. Let the front of your hips release. Again, if it's more comfortable to bend one knee, that's fine. And then we'll do a few contractions of the buttock muscles. So on the exhalation, squeezing your buttock muscles. And on the inhalation, gently releasing that contraction. Breathing out, contracting. Breathing in, releasing. Slowly and gradually, so the contraction and the releasing are kind of evenly paced and smooth. And then when you next relax, just letting your hips relax. Letting your buttocks relax. And if you had one knee bent, you can do a few more with the other leg straight, the other knee bent. And we'll just do this a few more times. Squeeze and gradually release. Maybe noticing if there's little bits of hesitation in the contraction. Is it smooth or is it a bit juddery? And the same with the release. Is it smooth or is it juddery? As we practice this, we might sense we're getting a bit more control. It's easier to make it smooth. And we'll do one more. And then we'll bend both knees and fold the knees in towards the chest. So on the exhale, we'll hug the knees in. On the inhale, moving them away. And these last few practices for the hips and the buttocks can be very helpful for the lower back as well. We'll bring our feet back down. You might like to have your feet about mat width apart and your knees resting, leaning in against each other. That again gives the hips a chance to release in a different way. And then we'll take our arms up to a vertical position with the palms facing each other. And just noticing we've got a kind of option here to let our shoulder blades be heavy on the floor, shoulders very relaxed, or we can reach up towards the ceiling a bit. And the shoulders kind of lift and lower. And you can do that with both arms a few times, just noticing how that feels, lifting and lowering. And you might sense that a widening of the back happens as you do this. And we'll lift the arms up and shoulders up a bit, and then crossing one arm over the other, hugging your shoulders, giving yourself a hug. Perhaps a sense of welcoming yourself this evening in your practice with this hug. And then we can cross our arms the other way, which might feel a bit different. And then letting our arms release to the floor again, or elbows to the floor and hands to the body. And then making a gentle fist with the thumb on the inside or the outside, doesn't really matter, whatever's comfortable. And then very gently with the what I would call the front of your fist, where your thumb is, and your index finger knuckle, rubbing your forehead. So you can start in the center, you can close your eyes, and just very gently move around so the bone of your thumb knuckle might be able to gently massage between your eyebrows. A little bit further up towards your hairline, around your eyebrows. Basically moving the skin of the forehead around a little bit. It's quite nice to follow the hairline. Maybe use the big knuckle of the index finger. It's quite gentle, but the resistance of that boniness of the knuckles can feel quite nice. And then we can bring the other fist in as well, both hands, and with the fingers part of the fists, gently massaging the temples and just above your cheekbones, again towards or at the hairline might be helpful. And then we can go down to in front of the ears. And then down, following the jaw. And then yawning or opening your mouth wide as if you're making a big ah sound. Ah. And then relaxing your mouth. And then rubbing your face all over or anywhere where it feels good with your hands. Around your eyes, gently around your eyes. Maybe pulling a few faces. And then letting your fingertips go around your scalp. Massaging your scalp like they might do normally at the hairdressers. I'm kind of missing that a little bit. So nice to do it ourselves. Helping our head and our face to relax. And when you've done a bit of that, you can rest your head comfortably down, rest your arms comfortably down. And then on an exhale, rolling your head to one side. On the inhale, back to center. And then to the other side. Doing that a few times, again with the intention of letting go of our head space, our head space rest. Letting go of our tendencies to maybe overthink stuff, overplan stuff, trying to work things out that may never happen. And bringing your head back to the center, checking with your body to see whether you might want to change position for the relaxation, which we'll go into shortly, or whether you're happy where you are. Maybe it's cooling off in your room, maybe you'd like to grab a cover. Maybe you're happy exactly as you are. I'm going to guide you through a practice using what we might call our felt sense or somatic sense, the lived experience of the body, to help soothe our nervous system and also to remind us what resources us. What we have already available to us to support us at any time of our lives, but perhaps even more right now during the crisis. So the first thing we can perhaps appreciate is our body, our living, breathing body. So as you come to stillness and restfulness, taking a moment to feel, to sense the miracle of aliveness in the body. Your breath going in and out of your body. The warmth of your body. Maybe you have been hot or still feel hot. appreciating your body's capacity to regulate its temperature. And any other signs in your body that tell you right now that you're clearly alive. You might be able to feel a sense of gentle vibration. It might be like a tingling on our skin. The fact that we're likely to know, to sense, to feel the surface that we're supported by. The fact that we can hear and see and taste and smell. Fully alive in this amazing human body. On this really quite stunning planet. In a universe we still don't really understand. And then I'd like you to bring something to mind that is resourceful to you during the crisis, and something that's not another human being. So even if you are in lockdown with your family or your partner or a pet, choose something else. Not your pet, not your family. Maybe something in nature. Maybe something in your home that you really appreciate. So, one of my resources is my bath, my shower, so I can sometimes rinse the day off me or luxuriate in a warm bath. And certainly the outdoor spaces I've got are a resource. My plants, the nearby park, the woods. Might be the books that you're enjoying reading. It might be a skill or a craft you're engaging in or learning. If you're able to pick one that really has been very helpful, maybe it's quite clear what the most helpful thing has been. Maybe there's a few, so pick one. And then see if you can know, have a sense of what it feels like when you do or engage with this thing. Maybe what it's like when you're in the flow of gardening or engrossed in your book. Or that moment when you first submerge yourself in the hot bubble bath. Might be a kind of mental absorption, feeling of deep interest or motivation, relaxation. See if you can sense what this activity or thing that you do or engage with, how does it resource you? What does it give you? And then see if you can feel that in your body. Maybe a sense of gladness, of stepping into your garden or engaging with this activity. Might be something like contentment or relaxation, joy. See if you can linger over that feeling for a moment. If you can find it. You can't really feel it in your body, that's fine. You can be with a sense of appreciation for this thing, for nature or whatever it is. Gratitude or appreciation for this resource. And perhaps you're already doing this, but it might be helpful to set an intention to engage with this thing or activity on a daily basis, almost like a daily practice, even if it's just for a few minutes if you've got a busy day, a few minutes in the garden, a few minutes of something that's inspiring, motivating, calming. Offering that to ourselves as a gift, as a resource. And then we can let that go. And then coming back to the earth as a resource and gravity as a resource in terms of our relaxation, and non-doing as a resource, pausing and resting as a resource. Becoming aware of the earth and gravity holding your body. Your hands resting. No need to hold on to anything now with your hands. Your hands can be completely at rest. Your feet can be completely at rest. Your eyes can be completely at rest. There's no need to speak. There's no need to move. There's no need to think. Thoughts are likely to pop up, and we don't need to do anything with them. We don't need to engage in thinking, even though there are thoughts. We can let everything just pass by, a string of moments that will eventually take us towards the end of our day, towards sleep. See if you can simply rest, letting each present moment unfold. With nothing to do, nowhere to go. Resting whilst this gentle sense of aliveness and life floats by, floats through you, floats over you, goes on around you. Resting in the midst of all that. And then if right now you feel a little restored by the practice, ready to engage with the world again for a bit longer today, you might want to start moving and open your eyes and stretch. Or you might want to stay as you are and continue to rest.